过来看 allow TikTok to access nearby device.
Where is the local?
Okay, like that.
Are we live?
Yeah, you're live.
You sure?
Yep.
We're not live.
You're live.
Serious?
Yes, you're live.
还在考到地方。
Hold on, calm down. No, your face to live. Face to your live. Okay, then we go TikTok and see whether you're live.
Waiting to go live.
I think you go live.
Live
TikTok live 啊？Yep, live. Hey, master，讲话，我帮你们。Introduce yourself. Who are you?
Hi. Hi everyone. Hello. Hi. Good evening. I'm Master Eric.
And I'm Master Shirley.
I'm Master Warren. Welcome to our TikTok live. Our very first TikTok live, right?
Yeah, kalang kabut.
That's right. Today, what we're going to talk about? What we're going to talk about?
What would you like talking about that?
Anything under the moon. No? Okay, sure. Actually, I have, you know what's this? This is a lopan. In English, lopan. Actually, we have seen quite a few clients having this at home today, but they are not Feng Shui master, but were advised to place this at home on the table or anywhere facing the main door, just to warn off evil. But let me clarify. This thing has no power. This thing is a tool. Okay, it's a tool for us as a Feng Shui master to read the degree and some information. Okay, so this totally will not warn off evil or bad spirit or anything. So if you have that at home, keep it. Don't display it. So master, why they say that this one can keep off evil? What's the rationale? Never heard of.
我觉得你这位生意多好，真的，我觉得我们就是可以去做。
2018年，香港金像奖出现了令人惊奇的一幕，这位68岁的阿姨一出场。
Actually, this is one of my earlier days and to demonstrate to you that this is no super power or what, I'll just so cool. Huh? Okay. Oh, you see, this is like a compass. So cool. It is a compass, not like a compass.
Oh,
Okay.
The lopan is just a compass.
Actually, I say wrongly. Looks like a frisbee. When you got a dog, right? You throw, then the dog will chase, fight, and come back. Well, you can bake a mini pizza on it if you want to. Wow. But actually, it's a very simple mechanism here. Just basically holding another plate with a compass in the middle. Okay, and with all the information marked on the plate, can you show that? Okay, all the information marked on the plate. So to let any Feng Shui master to read into the environment which sectors has what represented over there, so that we can do the Feng Shui correctly. Yeah, so don't think this is a super power thing that can warn off evil spirit. Okay, so this is basically in terms of warning off all this supernatural power is useless. Just wow, children, that's loud. I heard some people right, they bury it underneath the house in their home. What's it for? Seriously, I don't know. Yeah. Evil spirit can go come through the door. They can come through the back door. I thought they can go through the wall. I thought they can fly.
Parachute.
They can come from anywhere. So what is this got to do with burying it in front of your door? For what? Right? Oh, it looks so cool. See? So what other funny things that you guys went through while doing the Feng Shui audit?
A lot of times I see this Bakwa mirror.
Okay.
I didn't get and show to the audience, but Bakwa mirror right have been something that a lot of auntie uncle always have. Be it is inside their house or outside their house.
What is a Bakwa mirror? How does it look like?
It's a octagon shape, then with a mirror in the middle. So the mirror right got concave or another convex. They say one is to absorb, one is to shoot out. Then you put outside, have to be the one to shoot out, shoot your neighbor.
Yes, so that all your neighbor will get the bad things,
Yes.
and you can exalt all the good energy.
Then the inside one right, you have to put inside a house for absorb money. I think that's the rationale behind it lah. But when I see outside, what is it going to do with
So have
money?
you clarified with your client that anything special happened after putting out the mirror?
Usually I will ask them, 你家有鬼啊 ？Then they look at me, 没有嘞，为什么你这样问？ They like shocked. I say, I thought this one only the Chinese temple have. People 有鬼才放的 ，why you bring your house？ 你家里没有鬼，为什么要放？
Well,
That's why sometimes I scratch my head. Why people like to mix up certain religious item with Feng Shui? I seriously a bit don't know why lah. That's why I always reply to my customer in a very funny tone. It's like, hey, 你家有鬼啊？还是你住多久了？有没有怪怪的事情发生？没有啊？为什么你放这个东西？
很乖哦。
Yeah. Sometimes it's 自己心里有鬼 ，you know.
But I've encountered a funny incident. 2 weeks ago, I went for an omelette, and then this family have this chilling. Okay, no, issue or chilling that bite money.
Issue, that's an issue.
So you got issue with a $10 note biting on it. Then I asked the owner, I said, what is this for? Oh, to 招财.
Then why don't buy $1,000? Why buy $10?
Precisely. So then I say, who advised you? I say, oh, my last time my Feng Shui master advised. So I say, you got any money from this issue? Say no, 40 no. Then
No, $10
no, then
This user, that's poor by $10, because the $10 gives the tissue, you don't get the
That is
$10.
when you really poor, no money, you take the $10, go buy economic price.
that's the funniest thing. Okay, then I advise him take down the tissue because the tissue already mouthful already. How to go and 招财 for you?
Also makes sense, huh?
So he followed that. He took away the $10, put it on his table. But then Saturday, he take out the $10, he take away. 4D number from the $10 come out nicely.
Wow.
But he didn't buy.
Okay lah, never mind lah.
Yeah. So I tell him, why not you try again? Now this time round use a $100 note, put it in, and take it out again, and go and buy. So, but then I guess he didn't get anything because he didn't contact me at all.
Of course, we don't promote gambling. It's just that a lot of funny things, right, we see from audit, right, sometimes don't really make a lot of sense. I remember last month I did, if I remember correctly, it's in January, somewhere in January, I did an audit. So, you know, this customer got this Chinese they call 聚宝盆, wealth bowl. Yes, then a lot of $1 coin inside, full already. Then I look at it, I was like, 都满了，钱怎么进来？ Correct. I asked him, even to my staff, right, I will tell him it's either you throw away the thing, keep the money, or you can just sell it online if you want. If you really want to keep, I can also tell you where to put. Just that, you know, it's not put in such a way that she used to place it.
So it means place at the wrong place.
Not really wrong place. It's just that not advisable to use because that wealth bowl right got all those animal things which I don't really encourage her to use it.
Speaking of animals, there's one very interesting one that I saw recently. So it's for an individual who has like an office space. So I this was just some time back, right? So I went into the space. Then I saw this small little chicken there. So I'm like, oh, what's that chicken there for? Just a very small chicken. he was like, oh, the chicken is for me to 避小人. So I'm like, okay, very interesting. But I'm like, did your master tell you this? Did the previous master tell you this or what? And what he told me was, yeah, someone told me that, because the chicken right, is able to help me go and bite the 小人, so that the 小人 won't come and find trouble for me.
I think now you walk on the street, you can find some chicken. The live chicken will be better than the.
What if the seller is a chicken rice seller?
More effective lah, then the chicken can directly bite the chicken rice.
I believe there are some banks in Singapore. Okay. They ask the Feng Shui master come, so every desk will have a biter. Okay.
Serious?
Yeah, I heard this from a friend. Yeah.
What sort of bank use that?
Most banks all do Feng Shui.
Even for, I know they do Feng Shui, but I don't think they do for all the staff that's in the junior staff. Probably the managerial level and above they will do that.
Generally the traders, I heard.
Or for training department maybe.
Yes.
So one glance, you'll see a lot of funny items on their desk. You got chicken, got monkey, you got a lot of funny items, got dragon, all those things. So does it really help? So each one by their own third, so each one controlling, countering each other. So what's going to happen in the bank?
That's why they fight with each other.
There's so much politics, yeah.
But
Yeah, it's
also, bank is very competitive working environment, so they have to kill each other to get promoted.
I mean, as with everywhere lah, but
So
sometimes.
certain industry are really very cutthroat.
Yeah.
So I wonder, in the end, what's the so-called result they want? They are all working under the same roof for the same bank, and then each by turn. So, why your salary will go higher than mine, or they're working for individual themselves, not for the bank. So it's a very fun concept, Yeah.
Master, there's a question. There's a question from Facebook that asks, what to take note for period 9?
Period 9. Period 9, when we talk about the fire, right? Actually, what you want to take note is more about tech. Of course, this question, what to take note is very generic, but when we talk about fire, right, you can see that the tech are getting more and more advanced. And things are getting faster and faster. So the keyword is embrace changes, embrace speed, because the change in the future, right, is going to be very, very fast.
How many gigabytes?
I think I have to use the Ferrari horsepower to count.
Ho Sun Swan said 96. Hello. Yeah.
Okay, just now we are on the topic of all these bison animal, right? I remember I did an audit like 2 years back, if I remember correctly. It's a friend's house. So, their parents, right, like to buy all those things, right, that signifies the birth of their children. Like my friend wanted a year of rooster chicken. So the house, right, got a lot of all the chicken things. And his elder brother, right, born in the year of the horse. So a lot of horse. Then they always like to sell sabotage. No matter what sector they put, right, the moment I see, I was like, wow. I also don't know how to give advice. The only advice I gave them is, I think you better throw. So for Zodiac, right, people born in the year of the horse, the chicken, the dragon, rooster. One more time, horse, rooster, dragon, and the pig, right? They are very prone to have this tendency of self-sabotage.
What do you mean by self-sabotage?
Because this animal, right, when this zodiac, to be simple, when they are placed in a pen, it's what we call self-sabotage. So people that are born in these years, right, it's very funny. Their children, their parents, right, would like to buy items, right, that signify their children's birth. Even like for me, right, I'm born in the year of ox. Like my parents, when I was a kid, right, they like to buy things that are like ox. Like the piggy bank, like, to put money on, it's a lot in the ox form, ox shape, to symbolize like the kids. So I don't know why a lot of parents like to do that lah.
So self-sabotage meaning that self-created problems.
Yes, 自己害自己。
Sometimes it can also be like conflict with like your peers, your friends, people of the same level as you. Maybe an inability to also get along with like your colleagues, your friends, and friends outside of work, friends in school, etc. So especially for parents who have kids who maybe are not really getting along with their friends in school, that is also something to take note of.
A lot of quarreling sometimes.
Arguments.
Yes, arguments, disagreements.
One thing, we just passed our CNY Chinese New Year. So a lot of people still hang their very Chinese New Year stuff at home, all the red thing. So I think it's about time to take them down, store them away. And if you bought a lot of rabbits for this year, and at home you have zodiac of a horse or a rooster or a rat, okay, then some problems will arise. Faster, keep them away, throw them away, okay, don't display them, okay. Whatever animals you have, keep them, okay.
As long as animals in the house or that, right? It's best to keep them away. Of course, your Hello Kitty lah, your Doraemon lah, also included. Your Mickey Mouse also.
Hello Kitty is double what?
Double whammy.
Yes, double whammy. Because you see the Hello Kitty is a tiger. Hello Kitty doesn't have a mouth.
Yeah, what about that funny looking thing with the eyes closed with the X?
Oh, Cause is even worse. Yeah, Cause is even worse.
What will happen?
Well,
Not a very good thing.
probably just wake up in a relationship.
Yeah.
So if you like to buy all those things, store them away. If your kids are having those toys, think of a way to replace them. Okay, but don't replace with a present.
Oh, Doraemon is actually Doraemon is another one.
Why happened?
Doraemon is blue.
Okay.
Because Doraemon actually has depression. So Doraemon is actually a cat who had ears, and its ears were bitten off. And because it got so sad, it kind of turned blue.
Depression.
Yeah, so when you kind of have that in the house, that is also the image. This is maybe you're someone who is not able to cope as well with adversity. Definitely, you should seek relevant medical help, but also maybe removing the object might also help you a little bit. Or if you have any family members who like Doraemon, please keep a lookout for them.
Wait, what other stuff toys? Let's bring them up. What other stuff toys?
Actually, stuffed toys, right? One of the worst is besides Cos, Doraemon, and this Hello Kitty, right? I remember I shared one during our TikTok video is about this damaged Iron Man.
Oh yes.
The broken Iron Man, the Iron Man with a damaged chest plate.
Oh, okay, that's the heart, right?
Yes, that's why my friend who's a chiropractor, right, after placing it, right, he have a hard time with the patient. See, his heart almost exploded. And I always make fun of this doctor friend of mine. I always say his business, right, is not actually running a clinic. It's more like Chinese temple, working for Chinese temple.
Why is that so?
Because he got a lot of funny artifacts. Then he always show me, I was like, all these things belongs to the temple. Why you put it in your clinic?
The other toys that I see most common in household is the one that make funny noise. Ee-doo. I think that one is called. Yeah, and they don't speak clear languages. Minions. Minions. Yeah. You know the one with the one eye? Yeah, and then
The yellow color.
the yellow color, small little character. Look a bit retarded, don't speak clear language.
It's quite cute.
Yeah, it's quite cute, but that kind of energy carries, it doesn't.
It's a certain message.
Yeah, it doesn't bring good energies to your kids, especially your kids playing with them.
I share a little bit about this minion. if you ever encounter during maybe a Feng Shui audit, then probably the owner's kids like minion, right? You can straight away ask them, is your kid having difficulty in study? Is it significantly slower than their peers or people of the same age? You will find that it's spot on. Yes. Or their kid will have some issue with like, I don't know, is it called attitude or what? That means they don't have very good temperament, throw tantrum.
Alright, you guys out there, faster, throw them away. Okay? Throw them away.
But of course, these are from experience. So if you ever encountered such customer, right, you can straight away verify the customer. Is your kid having some difficulty with studying or yes,
Speech.
yes, something along this line. They will be significantly slower, especially for kids that are like maybe 3 years old, 4 years old.
Okay, you guys have it. Throw them away. Okay, don't keep minions. Okay, though they are cute and funny, yeah, but it's not funny with your kids behaving like that.
And honestly, minion, right, with only one eye, right, I don't see any auspicious feel about it, honestly.
Cool, that minion is called Jack.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, one-eye Jack.
Oh, you even know his name,
Is it Jack?
No, just kidding.
You even know his name. He give you his business card.
Doesn't sound right.
Okay. So what other toys you all see when you all do audit? Or have you encountered?
T-Rex.
Dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
Dinosaur usually the character of the kid will be very 暴躁, flare up easily and throw tantrums, hot tempered, yeah. And speak very loud.
I share with the audience one secret about them. Wendy, our office.
We share everything, it's almost important.
Yeah, when we share out, it's open already.
Okay,
His son like to keep One Piece.
One Piece.
The character from the Japanese comics, One Piece. One Piece are all pirates. That's why you always ask us how to let the kid 比较听话 You always ask us this question. Right or not? Because his son is like pirate. Someone king of the pirate. And One Piece is not one pirate, it's a group of pirates.
I see. Okay, then another thing is prints on t-shirt. Any special story?
Of course, a lot. I remember there was once we did a Zoom meeting. I think a few months back. Then just nice, again Wendy, right, wearing that rabbit with a head here.
I see. Yeah, I remember that.
You remember, right? Then Master Eric say, I was like laughing. Okay, because we know why, because I know why Master Eric come up with this conclusion, but she don't know. Then she keep on, hey, really? Then she keep on asking. Then we were like,
No, she's not stomach. She lost sight for 2 days.
Lost sight for 2 days. Then it's like, I also, how to explain to her? We know why, but sometimes you ask us to explain it to a layman, right? Not so easy. Then I remember once I was having a dinner with a group of friends. So one guy came at a dinner time. He was wearing a polo t-shirt with the polo here. Then I tell the rest of the people, hey, 今天他请客，他应该是 close sales. Then he laughed. I really close sales but 小小而已. He suddenly become 白色 because I see his shirt, I was like, hey, 他今天 close sales. 今天应该是他请吃饭.
It's scary, just look at the t-shirt and tell things.
That's why people don't like to come so close with us sometimes.
Sometimes it's good thing, sometimes bad things.
That will depend on what kind of shirt they have.
I've seen one back then. There was this guy wearing a black t-shirt with a what is that? A tiger with a boxing glove. Okay, tiger with a boxing glove. Then I look at him very long. Then whether I want to approach him and ask him. So I went to him and asked him. I said, You're having family problem, it almost led out in fight, very heated argument, very angry, and especially dealing with the older lady. Then he mouth open up. How do you know? I say your T-shirt tells me all. Okay, firstly, tiger, angry, boxing glove. And tiger is clashed with the monkey. Okay, and monkey is located in the, I mean, we classified them in the sector of a mother or a senior lady. And he was totally stunned. He said, okay, I'm going to throw this T-shirt away. Yeah.
But you cannot change anything. The fight already happened.
Yeah, but you can avoid future one. If you're still wearing it, then it will recur again. Everything goes in a cycle. Yeah, so yeah, if you have T-shirts of very unique, I would say unique, okay, of animals showing different kind of actions or aggression or anything, yeah, just chuck them away. Use it as a floor cloth, clean your car, clean your house.
The floor cloth also better not. After that, you display as a floor cloth, then jialat.
The tiger is still there.
Yeah, even
Oh,
worse.
and the
No, no.
monkey spot. Wow.
At home, fun now, fun now.
That one really
Fun,
fun.
F-U-N,
Yeah, fun.
very fun.
Wendy said she has thrown the rabbit shirt away already.
I mean, I myself
Congrats.
have also thrown away a few shirts because I did not realize when I wore that shirt very proudly, not thinking so much about it, and then the master was like saying something, and I'm like, oops.
Oh, one more thing. If you have a mobile phone and you like to display animals as a background picture, I would say try not to that will bring up certain energy and message also. And when the cycle hits or the time frame hits, it will activate and create trouble. Okay, most of the time create trouble. Very good stuff, very minimal. Okay, another thing is that if you have put a protector cover or your handphone screen is cracked at a certain
Certain angle.
change them immediately because the problem still lies there and it will replicate into your life. And if you don't change it, it will happen again and again. Okay, so yeah, look at mine, clean, straight, clean. Okay,
Talking about this headphone screen, right? I ever did an analysis for a friend. So that it was last year. So when I see, right, I was like, hey, your East sector have some issues. So your year 2023, right, it's not going to be so favorable. So one day I met up with him, right, for lunch. Then I saw his headphone. The crack, right, is also at the sector that represents 2023. Then I looked at him, I was like, of course, I usually speak in Chinese, my friends are saying, 你看你的电话，那个 screen crack 的位置都代表了2023年 ，and just nice right for business right, it represents things. So at that point I was like, hey, 你是出问题了。Then he looked at me with a very sad face. Then I was like, I know that his business is having some difficulty at that time. Before that, I don't know. Until I saw the headphone, I was like,
confirm plus shot.
yes, confirm plus shot. So that's how you give it the face.
Broken screen protector, change that. Okay, immediately. Tomorrow, now today.
You can go order now lah. You can order online and quickly change it.
You have spare, do it right now.
To be simple, right, anything that are damaged in your house or your workplace, best is disposed of.
Yes.
Since it's really damaged, right, what's the point of you to keep? A lot of people like to, keep all these things, then make their house right into like some don't know what warehouse or some Karang-Guni house or don't know what. Then I was like, what's the point? 坏掉的东西就丢掉了吗？你收起来做好了。They tell me， 比如做纪念啊，有什么纪念
On the topic of the damaged item, I went to a client house. The lamp with baby a lady standing with the lampshade, and then the on-off is at the vital part, that kind of lamp, okay, is standing there in the room, in their bedroom, and with one whole chip off. Okay, I didn't even take out my compass. I just really look at the thing and say, any one of you in this family has a broken toe, the wife. So whatever things you display out that is damaged, it shows, it reflects in the family. Okay, whether is it the relationship at work or personal health, it all can be shown up. Yeah. So time to do another spring cleaning, throw things away.
So there was this other audit that I did also. I saw this, like, you know, it's a landline, one of those one of those really old phones that, you know, it's connected to the landline and sort of like stuck to the wall. Okay, not so old school lah. It's still press button one, but it's like connected to the wall, you know, it's like.
Not the book and same card that one, right?
Thankfully, no, not that old. Yeah, so it's in our house, and then I saw that, and I was like, is the phone working? And she was like, I was like, I mean, it's so old already. Is it actually working? She was like, no, I mean, this phone's spoiled already. And I was like, okay, spoiled. And then after that, I was like, have you been having issues with your leads not getting close, you know, sort of things that don't come true? You thought that it was going to come true, and then there's sort of like a cut off somewhere. She was like, yeah, a lot of my new, so she also sort of in a business role that, like, you know, requires her to do like sales in some sense. So
Lost connection.
yeah, so she was saying that, yeah, all my sales, right, that like they come in, they do a first query, and then it kind of drops off. Yeah, everything is like, oh, you thought someone says that like they want to refer someone, and then the call doesn't actually come to her. I'm like, yeah, because your phone there is spoiled, you know, that connection is lost, you're missing out on something over there.
Yeah, phone is where you call people and talk to people and connect with people. Yeah,
That is why phone is very important. I remember once I was speaking to someone else, a friend, then talk about every year what happened. Suddenly the phone rang. I was like, hey, 那一年你好像有很不错的 opportunity. And I was like, yeah, my boss promoted me or goes overseas or something like that. I can't remember. And my phone is very important. How can you keep a damaged phone at home? Especially for people that do sales or do business.
If you want us to read into your handphone, yeah, drop us an email or call Wendy up, and we can arrange for meeting to read into your handphone number and tell you your past happenings. Okay,
We can analyze the 12 years from you. Which year you are good, which year you are not, all this.
It's time to fill out the form below. Click the form below and fill up.
Put the phone below.
Left
Where's
hand,
below?
left below, left
Left
inside.
below.
Ah.
My left or your left?
They are left, they are left. They are left,
Left or
yeah.
their left?
Yeah, they are left.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are left.
okay. We're talking about items in the house, especially if you have a clock. And most of the clock nowadays are run by batteries. Like if suddenly the battery died and stopped at certain hour and time, so I shall not read into it. Okay, just quickly change the battery. Okay, if we are doing an audit and come to your house and suddenly we see that clock is not moving at that certain time, we can derive what happened during that period or the month or something happened to somebody in the family. Okay, so anything that runs battery, check that. Okay, battery weak, throw that. I think tonight I said about throw.
It's okay. Sometimes it's good to throw away all those things that we don't want. What's the point of keeping all those unwanted stuff?
Those unwanted stuff, don't throw it. You can
Donate and
pass to Red Cross.
Don't donate spoiled things also.
Yeah, those damaged items, just write off, throw them. Okay.
talk about house, right? This type of clock always battery spoil or what, it's also good that you change a new clock sometimes. Because there are sometimes there are experiences of don't know why, right? Whenever they change battery, after a while the clock stop. After a while the clock stop again.
That's good.
Is it?
It happened to me.
So sometimes I wonder is the clock issue or the battery issue?
Yeah, I had the issue with my clock. I think now I just,
So sometimes this also tells us something. If the clock keep on getting damaged, right, something is not very right somewhere. Yeah. Because when things right keep on having some issue with the normal function, right, it also tells us that it seems like it's like a bad omen.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's very difficult to explain to the people, but for people like us, we will know that something is bound to happen.
Yes,
From talking about that, I've seen one, people having external monitor plugged into the computer. And then this one is good, but not that good. They bought a new one, so this one just
Dump it there.
dump it on the side.
A common mistake made.
No common mistake yet. Haven't yet. Soon. Okay. So the old monitor is put there, collecting dust and on the floor. So when I was there, I saw this monitor in our Feng Shui so-called items, we take it as fire first. Okay. So I look at it, it's lying there, and I say, well, it looks like your relationship didn't go very well. Okay, you got an old one, and then now you got one new one. And then he said that, yes, I broke off with my girlfriend, and now I'm on a new relationship. So, well, if you want to replace it, throw it away. Don't just keep it and throw away. Okay? Yeah.
Master, then what if my boyfriend have more than one screen in his house? Does that mean he has got a lot of
No, and then you will ask him which monitor represents you. Something from left to right, then you know where you stand.
Just now, Master gave you when we use the computer stand, right?
Yeah.
Don't use the round one. It's a bow and arrow. You shoot yourself.
I see. That's if you have a round base, saw it away, make it flat.
Share the experience. What
This is a real life example when we did audit for one of the office. So they are using this round stand monitor.
The base stand.
Yes, the base is a round one, which is a PC monitor. Then must pick up the compass, then see which direction, then come up with which year certain things happen, and it's all spot on. So this is like a bow and arrow shooting yourself.
Saw it away, make it flat. Straight line.
Nowadays people know more.
I see.
Talking about the two monitor, right? I talking about family and relationship, right? Suddenly you reminded me. There was once a friend of mine. We were actually talking. So she happened to talk about her marriage life. Then the husband is often overseas. I didn't come back for quite some time. So he showed me some of the photos taken. Then I saw one of the photos that that friend of mine, right, I was thinking, whether should I say or should I not say? After anything, I think better to say it. I just keep quiet. Okay, what happened was, it was a photo of her.
But now you're saying,
But nobody knows it's who.
But what if your friend is watching?
Then she might not even know it's who, because I see so many things. Every day, so many people ask me things. Correct, might not be you. I mean, not you lah. Okay, so all the photo I see, I was like, okay. It was taken between her and the husband.
Okay.
So the husband is wearing a spectacle with a sunglasses. The moment I see, I was like, wow.
This is very good clue when the person is watching.
Anyway, this type of photo, right? I think I seen quite a lot. Yeah, it's like, I don't know why people go holiday, right? They go to the beach or whatever. They like to wear the normal glasses, right? With the sunglasses on top. I don't know what's the rationale behind that. Maybe they on top of two more eyes.
No, I did it once that my normal glass, my sunglasses, and then my bifocal glass I put in.
I got 6 eyes.
Wow.
Okay, so the moment I see inside my mind, I know what happened. Okay, I know that, actually, your husband, I didn't say that of course, but in my mind I was like, your husband actually got some articles outside. I just never see it out. Why? Because you see, the glasses, right, signifies fire element. It signifies relationship. Correct. One is a normal glass. One is a sunglass.
One is clear, one is dark.
Yes, 一个是见不得光的。Some of the 见不得光 one is on top, if I remember correctly. I don't know if it's on top here or here, but I remember it should be on top. So the moment I see, I was like, wow. Then I was like, 哎呦，还是不要讲了，不要吓到人家。I just keep quiet. So, you know, sometimes I also don't know all these things, right? Should I say it out or should I just keep quiet?
Another very similar one that I saw also was some photos that was taken for I think we call it an engagement shoot. Yeah, basically I saw that, you know, because of the mirror and because of the reflections, there sort of is one guy, the girl, and a reflection of the girl in the picture. Yeah, so I spoke to the photographer. I was like, you know, why did, I mean, not only that, it happened that the wine glasses were also in multiples of 3. The wine bottle was also in multiples of 3.
Maybe they like it.
No comments.
Okay.
No comments. Yeah, so I kind of looked at it, right, and I spoke to the photographer. So I was like, I don't know lah. I don't know. I see a lot of photos. I also see a lot of photos.
We see so
Yeah,
many
I see online one. I see online one.
We don't specify which one.
Yeah. So the photographer's reasoning is that there was no other angle I could have shot that. That was the only angle I could have shot that, so it doesn't mean anything. But with every image that comes out, right, there's always a message. There's always a message behind whether you intend it or whether you don't intend it. Yeah.
These are telltale signs of something is going to happen to this marriage.
Well, that's what we do. We read into every aspect of items or things in the house, how they place, and do the Feng Shui accordingly. And if we see some extra things, extra marital or extra things that are not supposed to be there, we will remove them immediately, and we will talk to whichever party privately and see, you know, how to get this over, save this marriage, and make everyone happy. Yeah, no one's like to be the third party, and yeah, no one's like to have a broken family. Okay, yeah. So, another thing, the fridge magnets. Okay, you travel to overseas, you want to buy, you know, fridge magnets. You know, I seen one that, you know, Vietnam with
The Vietnam traditional
one boy, one girl, you know. And then when I was at this place, I saw these 2 fridge magnets from Vietnam, and then the female side was dropping down, and then there was another female figurine. I think it's from Holland, carrying the neck candle, I think. Yeah. So there were 2 put beside the Vietnamese man and then the neck girl. Then I look at it for very long, standing in front of the fridge. And then the husband came and said, anything wrong with this fridge? I said, no, this is a very nice fridge, very big, very nice. But then I asked him, you having some extra friendship out there that is, you know, overseas, whites, quite strong lady? Then he looked at me and he showed his. Oh. So I asked him again, do you still want this family? Do you still want me to hold on to this family and be responsible? He said, of course. I said, okay, then take this figurine, trash it right now. Okay? Yeah, then you really take it and trash it.
I hope you trashed that extra friendship also.
Yeah.
Then you got bring up the Vietnamese lady that fall down.
Yeah, then I told him that this one that is almost falling down, bring it back up and put beside this.
And then you forget to bring up.
Yeah. So, well, in the end, I didn't hear from them anymore. Hopefully, they live happily ever after. Yeah. So, if you have fridge magnet that shows there's a third party, please throw them away. Throw it away. The extra one, the third party. Okay. And then just tell the husband, oh, I simply broke it, so I just throw it away.
You don't want to use so many fridge like that, then make until the whole fridge becomes so messy.
It's souvenirs collected from overseas. Yeah, I used to have a lot also, but not figurines. It's just fishes.
Fish.
Yeah, because I do scuba diving, so I collected a lot of fish, metal, whale, shark, eagle, all sorts of that. But then when I shift to new place, I dump them away. Yeah.
I started putting photos on my fridge, but of course you must make sure the photos are all okay photos.
Actually, no, I don't put photos.
Huh?
Because you know why? The fridge is cold. You put that, you know what? Cold. Everything stagnant, cold.
Yeah, master, I just everyday move the magnet lah. Then no stagnant already.
Okay, we can boil it. Yeah. What else? Come on. Let's bring up more of these household items, stuff that represent stuff. Yeah.
Represent stuff. Let me think.
Flickering light,
Flickering light. Flickering light.
crack on the walls.
All these are
yes, crack on the wall.
all these are like, you know, almost every audit that we crack on the wall.
It's pretty common, right?
It's really common because a house, after you stay for a few years or what, right, they're bound to be somewhere and tear, or the paint will have some peel off or all this thing. So,
The household exercise a lot.
oh,
Now what kind of exercise ah?
I don't know. It's
when people work from home, right, during COVID, they do a lot of exercise in the home. They do gym.
Talking about walls. This is a bit of a haunted scenario. If you find the walls is moldy and things are peeling off, get them repair it immediately. Okay, one of the cases that I've seen is that the mold itself it forms in the shape of a human. Okay, and I was called to this place because the house owner told me that every night there's some spooky stuff happening. So when I came to the house with a proper log hunt, I walked into the room, especially nearer to the moldy part. The log hunt's needles start to change direction, very drastic change. So, well, it signifies maybe the energy there is not good or the magnetic field
Yes, it's been
Unstable.
yes.
Yeah, so if you have those kind of situation in your house, okay, repair them immediately, okay? Get someone to come and scrape it, paint it over with a better paint, okay? Yeah. Do that, okay? It's no fun having such things in the house, right?
Anyway, moldy wall, right, usually signifies skin issue. Because I did audit for my client, like their wall is very bad because staying in the house for a few years, not properly maintained, so the paint is like, I also don't know what word to describe lah. In Hokkien we call jialat lah, just jialat lah the whole thing. So one of the kid right is having a very serious eczema issue. Okay, so this is something that we always tell people, right? Treat your house actually like a mother, protect it nicely. We throw Feng Shui aspect aside, right? If you treat your house nicely, right? 把它照顾得好，okay, your house also 照顾 you back. Very simple.
Of course, a roof under your head.
Yes. That's why things that are damaged, the wall peel off or whatever, all this immediately go and repair it, get it done. Because wear and tear is normal, definitely will happen. You just need to really, go and get it done if it's damaged or spoiled. Don't make it until like your house like some Karang-Guni house or dog house, or don't know what house.
Okay, you hear that? Do the repair, okay? Don't mess around with it. It's bad Feng Shui.
Yes. No matter people that believe or not, it doesn't matter. You just have to make sure your house is in good condition.
Yes,
That's more
not
important.
only your house, but the things inside your house.
So outside.
Recently, I had a friend who was complaining that his bonus is very bad and everything else. And again, sales role lah. So with sales role, your bonus is a lower target, right? So I went there for dinner. Then I looked at. I don't know. I honestly don't know the directions of the house because they have their own Feng Shui master for the house. But there was one direction which he pointed me. Oh, this is my tirade. You know, I think in some schools of thought, you know, they believe that there's a specific tirade. I'm not going to comment on that now, but he told me that that was his tirade, and that was his. And his tirade, he had a plant there. Then when I looked at the plant, the plant was tiring.
That's why we were tired. That's why we were tired, right?
Yeah. And I'm like, yeah.
If the plant is vibrant, maybe still got some money.
If you tell me this is your tirade, how does your tirade look now?
No chai.
No tirade, super tirade.
That's a question by level 33. She says, if the wall is yellow, got a bit moldy, then how?
You paint it now?
You ask the kid will say yellow, the yellow. No.
Actually, when the wall is moldy, right, it's best to repaint it. Color, for people that don't know Feng Shui, right, it's best to use white or just normal beige color.
Consistent colors throughout the house, but don't have like a particular.
You know, one wall red, one wall yellow, one wall black, or what? That one looks like some don't know.
That's RGB. Or you can go CMYK.
All the weird colors.
There's another question from Scramble Hoopment. What about if you live with family members with messy rooms?
All I can say, tidy. Okay, because energy in the house depends how well you upkeep your house. With messy things lying around, firstly, hard to find things. Secondly,
Fire hazard.
fire hazard. Okay. Thirdly, when you seriously need it for emergency, you seriously can't find it, then it blocks. It blocks off all your good energies and collect dust. And in terms of after that collecting dust, hygiene, your health will be affected, especially with kids or adults with asthma or eczema. Okay, all these can happen. No use, throw them away.
Sometimes, like your family member, your neighbor, right, is also your Feng Shui.
Well, if they are hoarders, they keep a lot of dirty boxes outside or the scraps.
You have to clutter all the things.
Then firstly, invite cockroaches into the house. Just pests.
That's thanks to Celine Chu for giving us a rose. She's the first to give us a rose.
Wow, thank you.
And followed by a question from Scramble Boon meant again. Even if your room is neat and clean, it will still be affecting you. If your neighbors or you're living in a very messy house, but your room is neat and clean, but the rest of the family members is messy, does it still affect you?
Definitely, because external energy will be active in this environment. So in order to gain the better of the supportive external energy, so the exterior also, or the environment also needs to be clean and tidy. Okay, and besides that, if the household or the person likes to keep figurines, animals, features, everything, though the house is very clean and neat and tidy, these figurines and energy will be acting on the inhabitants there in that space. So if you have very angry looking figurines, that shows maybe one of the family members with that temper, right? So or those that carry a sword and has to kill or anything, that very violent. Yeah. So everything brings out a message. Yeah. So do look into it.
Okay, so thank you to Scramble Boon Ment. And again, Celine Chan 440 is the first person in the world to give Soka 96 a gift. a rose. Okay, yeah, so yeah, okay. So Master, you want to talk about the kind of books that you need to keep your children around?
I don't study well, so
For books, right, usually we recommend you to use all those, if you are studying, maybe you can keep books of those science, maths, or whatever. Try not to use books, right, that from animal pictures, unless it's a textbook or what, then of course.
So no bio book with all the
Bio is different because you are studying bio, so you have to, have it.
Yeah, I mean don't display it out.
Yes, if you talk about for Feng Shui aspect, right, when we ask client to probably do a bookshelf in certain area, right, books that usually I will ask my client to avoid are books with animals, or probably don't use Nelson Mandela, because Nelson Mandela took very long to become the president, then you go all
Very
this.
tough journey for
Yes, so it's, I also don't want my client to wear tough. I want them to 轻松赚大钱。
what about titles of the book?
Title, of course, you can like choose auspicious one. Don't choose those one one. That one I think is should avoid.
Well, there's a book title called Secret Lover. Is it good?
Wow.
If you want a secret lover, you don't mind your partner having a secret lover, sure.
Idea.
Secret lover.
Yeah,
Yeah.
serious.
So
What other titles? There's no book.
To be very honest, I don't really read books.
Mistress. Mistress.
If you ever see book, in my place, right, it's for Feng Shui display purposes. It's never for reading purposes. Probably I will read Feng Shui related.
yeah, interesting.
What sort of books?
Yeah. Things that talks about deception, things about things that there's one I think something about deception or might get deceived. So I think with that, seems like we've pretty much covered a lot of topics tonight already. Stay tuned, like us, share us, follow us. Next week, catch us here again. We will be talking more and sharing more tips on Feng Shui with you. I'm Master Shalin.
Mr. Eric here.
Master Paul here.
And with that, good night, everybody.
One more last question, Sonny.
Sure.
Does having too much ornaments, item, and crystal affect energy of the house and the people?
Definitely affects. Yeah. Especially the smaller crystals, what we do see is that it does affect the family a lot with a lot of small illnesses. Because I mean crystals, the small crystals that you actually purchase, they are sort of the odd sizes, the things that people don't want, right? Why would you sort of buy waste materials to display in your house? When we go into a crystal space, some people also do say that the crystals are actually sucking your energy.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, so as with everything, also have it in moderation. Stay away from small crystals.
Try not to use crystal if possible.
Yeah.
Because if you are a medical student, right, crystallization of what exceeds in your body, right, causes all the stones and stuff like this. So it's best to actually avoid it.
Stone, goblet, stone.
Yes. This is from a medical point of view.
So every day in the class was a stone.
One last question from a very important client. She's been following us for the longest time, Maggie. She's asked, 肠胃不好要注意些什么？
不要乱吃东西咯，不要吃麻辣少吃一点咯，海底捞少吃一点咯。
I think.
Correct, right?
Yeah.
肠胃不好，辣的不要吃太多。
废话。
Of course, Feng Shui wise, get the professional, to do it for you is better lah. It's best, seek professional advice rather than tell you what to do. Later you put wrongly or what, jialat. 肠胃不好看到晒。
When we do the house analysis, the free online house analysis, a lot of people will ask, how come you know my digestion movement? I say, well, the map shows. We read into the environment, we read into the so-called affecting energy. That's why we delighted your digestive system is no good. So he said, but all the while, I said, I don't know you, but I see that it's happening. So it can be remedied, okay? It can improve, okay? But unless there is a curve bend towards your unit, which we call it bone marrow, that one is very hard to remedy, okay? The energy is always there. We can only help you ease the energy, but can't eliminate it. Yeah. So look into your map. If there's a curve bend towards your house, your unit, yeah, calm us.
Yeah, so with that, I think we'll see you next week. Goodbye, everyone. Have a good night.
Bye.
You enter the coin side.
Mhm.
Enter the coin side. Careful the wires. Careful the wires. Careful the wires. Two gifts.
Huh?
Two gifts.
Wow,
So I want the thing for you.
so good.
Thank you.
Two gift, so good. Trả我牌，
Yeah, a lot of people hate me.
唔會啦，it's just a conversation。
That means this one can use.
Can use Sometimes cannot use meh? Can
No, I think, yeah, I hopefully, I don't know. Can you go and review and see whether
The sound
the sound, how is it?
當然有聽 TikTok 的 sound quality OK 嗎？
不用听，不可以听，
沒有聽啊。
不用听到。
听到
我現在只可以看 Facebook 的。